Hello students, hello viewers, welcome to this video. And in this video, we are going to look at the pronunciation of a new word. The spelling of the word goes like this. Lexicography. Let me repeat. Lexicography. I hope you're noting it down in your notebook. Okay, if you've done that, let's look at how many syllables there are in this word. The number of syllables in this word are 5. Syllable 1 is lek, syllable 2 is si, syllable 3 is cog, syllable 4 is r, and syllable 5 is fi. Let me repeat. Syllable 1 is lek, syllable 2 is si, syllable 3 is cog, syllable 4 is r, and syllable 5 is fi. Lek, si, cog, r, fi. And from our previous discussions, you know that the last syllable need not be considered to find out which syllable will take the stress. And you also know that in 5-syllable words of 5 syllables, there will be at least 2 stress syllables, okay? There will be at least 1, there will be 2. Automatically, there will be 2, okay? So we have 4, we are left with 4 syllables. Lek, si, cog, r. Now, if you notice, the second and the fourth syllable contain only 2 sounds, si and r. So si, the second syllable, you have 2 sounds, is and a, and in the fourth syllable, you have r and shwa. So these 2 will go out of contention because usually CVC syllables attract stress. So let us look at the structure of syllables 1 and syllable 3. Syllable 1 is lek and syllable 3 is cog. So they have CVC structure. Lek, il, ka, and cog, ka, o, g. So these 2 syllables are likely to attract stress. Lek and cog are likely to attract stress, and automatically in a 5-syllable word, when you see the third syllable will be the primary stress syllable, the first syllable will be the secondary stress syllable. Okay, so now that you know, you have all this information, pause the video for some 30 seconds, practice the, try out the pronunciation of, not practice, sorry, try out the pronunciation of this word, and then I will introduce I'll tell you how this word is pronounced, okay? I'll show you how I pronounce it and then compare it with your pronunciation. Okay, so if you have done it, if you have practiced, if you have tried out your pronunciation, just listen to the pronunciation of this word. It is lexicography. 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 Now let us look at let me share screen with you and then show you. Yeah, that is the word for today, lexicography. But there is a small problem here. When you look at just the spelling of the word, you see that, it doesn't represent fairly the syllable division. I want you to compare the spelling and the transcription, and then you realize that there is in this letter X, becomes 2 sounds, k and is. And the first syllable has CVC structure, lek. The second syllable has C. Now, there is you may ask a question here. Why doesn't this sound come here? Why doesn't it? Actually, the reason is that we have to follow a principle called the maximal onset principle, which says that, let us look at first when you take out all the vowel sounds, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We take out 5 vowel sounds because there are 5 syllables, okay? We identify 5 vowel sounds and there are 5 syllables in this word. So there are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Follow the cursor, okay? Now, you have lek here, and let us assume is here. Actually, it is allowed because ka and is, it's a valid coda. But what did I tell you? There is something called as a maximal onset principle. Now, what you have to do here is allot onset for the vowel sound. So here, this vowel sound, one second, sorry about that. This vowel sound will automatically take this is as the onset, and this vowel sound shwa will take r as the onset. But there's one catch here. Now, sure need not have any onset. Then why do we have r as an onset? Here, the second syllable, we understand, no problem. Why does this take an onset? Now here, the last syllable takes an onset, that is also valid. Why does sure take an onset here? The reason here, you can't explain the way you explained, I explained it here and apply the same explanation here. You, r cannot be here because gr is not a valid coda. So here, k and is come together, there's no problem, but you can put is here, but let us not forget that every vowel sound needs a onset. Here again, here we don't follow the maximal onset principle. Here we follow the principle that you cannot have two sounds together, two consonants together, if they don't form a valid onset or coda. In this case, a coda. So let us now, look at this again. Let me explain this again so that, you understand it better. So the first syllable has the CVC structure. The is goes here following the maximal onset principle. There is no problem in is being part of the first syllable. Come to the third and fourth syllables. R comes here not because it has to follow the maximal onset principle. You can explain it like that. But a better explanation is here gr is not a valid coda. Okay, we will look at onsets and codas later. Remember, they also play a very important role in the syllabification of a word. See, we usually talk about pronunciation, just as, as stress events. No, it is not just stress events. The structure of the syllable decides which syllable will attract stress. Remember, it is based on structure, and the structure is governed by, onsets and codas, and by principles like, now let me stop here, and by principles like maximal onset principle. So let me share screen again. So I've given you a fairly long explanation as to why this particular word divides itself in this particular manner. You have lexicography and not lexicography. Okay, so it is not that. So, and I've given you the reason. So in the first syllable, first and second syllables, the maximal onset principle is followed. In fact, the second syllable, the maximal onset principle is followed. That's why is moves from here to here. Here, the r cannot be part of the third syllable because gr is not a valid coda. We will talk more about these onsets and codas. It is this that makes that, decides the difference between a syllable attracting stress to itself or a syllable not attracting stress to itself. And again, let me share screen again. If you notice, there is a very subtle thing here. I keep on pointing this to you. Look at the unstressed syllables. They will always contain either sure or e. Okay. In fact, there is one more unstressed syllable. We'll talk about that later. Okay. So that's the word for today. Lexicography. I introduced a bit to onsets and codas also. I mean, we've been talking about that over many videos, but still, you can't give one explanation and take the same explanation to the other place and then say, look, this is why it came. So what applies, where the maximal onset principle applies, it applies. Where the onset coda rule applies, there it applies. So you cannot say this is that and that is this. No, you cannot say that. Please go through that explanation again, and you will certainly understand things better. So the word for today is lexicography. The third syllable takes the primary accent and the first syllable takes the secondary accent. So there we are. Please look forward to the next video. Please keep practicing this word. And I think next time we'll be doing a, hopefully we'll be doing a a 4-syllable word. Let me see how it goes. Okay, best of luck, goodbye, and keep practicing.